The Galactic Tribunal chamber stretched 3 kilometers in diameter, its crystalline walls reflecting the bioluminescent glow of 1,000 different species. Ambassador Krelvax of the Dominion Coalition stood at the central podium, his 4 arms gesturing triumphantly as armed guards dragged a human male across the polished floor. Dr. James Chen stumbled, his wrists bound in graviton shackles that hummed with enough force to crush titanium. Blood trickled from a cut above his eye, but his expression remained defiant. Behind him, hidden in the observation gallery reserved for non-citizens, his daughter watched through the transparent aluminum barrier. "This human," Krelvax announced, his translator converting his chittering language into universal standard, "stands accused of the highest crime, violating the genetic sanctity accords. He has tampered with forbidden evolutionary sequences, threatening the very fabric of galactic biosecurity." The tribunal, 12 beings representing the most powerful civilizations in known space, shifted in their seats. The evidence projected holographically above the chamber showed Dr. Chen's research, genetic modifications that could allegedly weaponize human DNA. "The sentence," Krelvax continued, "is cellular dissolution. The human will be unmade atom by atom as a warning to his primitive species." In the gallery, 15-year-old Maya Chen's hands pressed against the barrier. Her father had told her to stay on Earth to stay safe. She'd stolen aboard a cargo freighter instead, following him across half the galaxy. Now she watched as 2 Krellian guards forced her father to his knees. "Any final words, human?" The tribunal's lead arbiter, a crystalline entity named Shard of Eternity, asked. James Chen raised his head. "My daughter is watching." "Maya, close your eyes." Maya's breath caught. He knew she was here, but she didn't close her eyes. Instead, she did something that would change everything. "Let go of my human father." Maya's voice cut through the chamber, amplified by the acoustics, "or I'll put you on your feet." The chamber fell silent. Then laughter erupted, a cacophony of chirps, bellows, and resonating vibrations from species that found humor in different frequencies. Krelvax's mandibles clacked in amusement. "A human child threatens the Galactic Tribunal? This species truly doesn't understand its place." "Security, remove the—" Shard of Eternity began. Maya stepped through the barrier, not around it, through it. The transparent aluminum, designed to withstand plasma bombardment, rippled like water as she walked forward. Gasps replaced laughter. Maya descended the steps toward the tribunal floor, and with each step something impossible happened. Her skin began to glow. Not with technology, not with any device. Her cells themselves emitted light, a soft blue radiance that pulsed with each heartbeat. The guards reaching for her stopped, their scanners shrieking warnings about radiation levels that should have been lethal but somehow weren't. "You wanted to know about my father's research?" Maya's voice remained calm, almost conversational. "He wasn't weaponizing human DNA. He was trying to suppress what we already are." She raised her hand, and Krelvax, all 400 kilograms of chitinous warrior, lifted off the ground. No graviton field, no technology. He simply rose, suspended 2 meters in the air, flailing. "Impossible!" Shard of Eternity's crystalline form vibrated with disbelief. "Humans are Class 7 biologicals. No psionic capability, no energy manipulation. Your species was scanned thoroughly before contact." "You scanned our bodies," Maya said, walking toward her father. The guards backed away from her approach. "You never scanned our history." With a gesture, holographic images replaced the evidence against her father. Ancient human cave paintings, medieval texts describing saints who levitated, modern photographs of monks who could raise their body temperature through meditation, accounts of mothers lifting vehicles off trapped children. "We've always had this," Maya continued, "buried deep, suppressed by our own evolution because it was too dangerous, too unpredictable. My father's research wasn't about creating something new. It was about understanding why we unconsciously locked away our own potential." She reached her father, and the graviton shackles crumbled to dust at her touch. James Chen stood, rubbing his wrists. "Maya, you weren't supposed to—" "I know, Dad." She smiled sadly. "But you were going to die without telling them the truth." She turned back to the tribunal. Krelvax still floated helplessly. The other representatives had activated personal shields, weapons, emergency protocols, none of which seemed to affect the glowing human child in their midst. "Here's what you need to understand," Maya said. Every species you've encountered evolved on worlds where they were the apex. You developed technology because you needed it to survive, to dominate, to reach the stars. She gestured at the cosmic display surrounding the chamber. Thousands of worlds, millions of species. Humans evolved on a world that was actively trying to kill us. We weren't the strongest, fastest, or most numerous. We survived because we developed something else. You call it fight or flight response. We call it fight or flight or transcend. The blue glow around her intensified. Under extreme stress, human biology doesn't just produce adrenaline. It produces change, evolution in real time. Most of us never trigger it, but when we do, when a mother needs to save her child, when a father faces death, when a daughter watches her father about to be executed, we become what we need to be. Maya gently lowered Krelvax to the ground. He scrambled backward, all forearms raised in submission. My father's research wasn't a weapon, it was a warning to us. Because if humanity ever collectively activates this potential, if we ever face a threat great enough to trigger millions or billions of us simultaneously, she let the implication hang in the air. Shard of Eternity's voice carried a new tone, respect tinged with fear. What do you want, human child? Release my father, dismiss all charges, and grant humanity Class 2 status in the Galactic Council with full voting rights and protected sovereignty. That's unprecedented. Your species has only been spacefaring for 2 centuries. And I just violated every law of physics you thought was absolute, Maya interrupted. While standing in your most secure facility, surrounded by your most advanced weapons, none of which can stop me. The glow around her pulsed once powerfully and every electronic system in the chamber flickered. So here's my offer, she continued. You leave humanity alone. You let us develop at our own pace, and in return we'll keep suppressing what we are. Because trust me, you don't want to see what happens when we stop holding back. The 12 members of the Tribunal conferred in rapid, multi-frequency communication. Finally, Shard of Eternity spoke. The charges against Dr. James Chen are dismissed. Humanity is granted Class 2 status effective immediately. And we accept your terms. Maya's glow faded. She suddenly looked like what she was. A tired teenager who'd traveled too far and pushed herself too hard. James caught her as she stumbled. Did I do okay? She whispered. You did more than okay, he said, tears in his eyes. You saved us all. As they left the chamber, Krelvax watched them go. What have we welcomed into the galactic community? He asked quietly. Shard of Eternity's crystalline form pulsed with an emotion that might have been dread. Either our greatest allies, or the reason the next dominant species will study our fossils. In the observation deck, Maya, Chen looked back one last time at the assembled might of galactic civilization and smiled. They had finally learned what humanity had always known. Never corner something that learned to survive by transcending its limits. The galaxy would never be the same. The end.